Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Coin Republic podcast. My name is Shrob Acharya. Today, I have a special guest to talk about Web3 and social media applications. He's an ex-employee at Reddit. He was an account manager at Reddit, and currently he's the founder and the CEO of Web3 Sapiens, a digital marketing agency targeting Web3 community development. It is my honor to introduce you guys to the screen all the way from Portugal, I believe, Mr. Javier.
Exactly, from Lisbon,
Welcome, sir.
actually. Thank you so much.
Well, Portugal does have a good scene from what I've heard. I've interviewed one or two people from Portugal in itself, but what has your experience been from a place like that?
Yeah, well, basically I came here because of the taxes and the good crypto environment. And here actually super good. And now in November, as you probably know, there were a lot of events. There was the Web Summit, NearCon, New Economics. There were a lot of side events. So very active weeks. And it's for me, it's one of the main places in Europe to be and represent, let's say, the crypto industry.
Let's start with your experience at Reddit. Um, you know, the social media platform was one of the initiators in the Web 2 revolution when social media bubbles started to create. I think it was pre YouTube, pre Instagram, definitely pre Instagram. Reddit is one of the OGs. Your initial founders, they had a different idea for Reddit. Now it is one of those platforms that has gathered a lot of Web3 communities within it, like Twitter in itself. But Reddit has its own legacy. Could you describe what made Reddit different, specifically from the Web3 angle? Why are people flocking there?
Well, from the Web3 angle, I would say that they had they made a very good move with the NFT, the Reddit avatars. And sometimes we are trying to get the mass adoption with new platforms, new projects. But I believe that Reddit, what they did that was super good was basically have a large company with a lot of users and immerse everyone in this NFT world, in this Web3 world, without even mentioning that they were NFTs. They were saying Reddit avatars. So at the end, they introduce everyone in the blockchain space. They create a lot of wallets, actually more than OpenSea, for example, a specific platform that is dedicated just for this. So at the end, the big move was that it's not telling anyone and don't explain anyone what blockchain is, but just give them these benefits of the blockchain itself.
It's fair enough. Now, when I hear someone like Elon, the whole Elon drama started when he acquired Twitter, but slowly, steadily, even right now, it's not profitable post Elon's acquisition, right? But you see the power of that platform with one tweet sending the price of multiple tokens up and down. My question would be with Reddit community. You were a part of Reddit from what year to what year? Around 2000 what?
From 2000, now it's 23, so from 2021 till the end of 22. So yeah,
Okay.
one
Okay.
year.
So 1 year. So prior to that, prior to you join this, I'm asking you because you guys probably talked about it with your colleagues and all of that. The Wall Street Bets revolution started from the Wall Street Bets subreddit, right? It's a financial revolution. People talk about it, and it's a it's written in the history of social media, in golden letters. My question is, how do these small communities evolve? I mean, how could we possibly predict the next Bored Ape Yacht Club or the next Wall Street Bets from a hint? Do you have any idea about that?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question. Um, in my opinion, Reddit, these small, medium, and large communities even they have the power of creating something by themselves that I think on Twitter is not that possible. On Twitter is more, I would say, promotion and influencer marketing or calls marketing. But on Reddit, you can have a lot of users with their own genuine opinion, genuine ideas. And if everyone in the same community share the same idea and same opinion, they can build something from the scratch and make it super successful.
Uh-huh.
Like, for example, what happened with the stocks and for example, GameStop.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
that was an idea that it was built just by them from a small community that was growing and growing and growing. And I think that this is something that just can happen when you have a community with the same interests and passions. In my opinion, it's difficult to make this happen on Twitter like this.
It's difficult to make it into, but Reddit. Now, although Elon has a particular vision, I've heard him talk about this again and again. He wants to create a super app. Now, it's
Mhm.
interesting when you mentioned super app because I think the only company that has been remotely able to achieve that is WeChat, and that's in China,
Mm.
only in
Mm.
China. No other social media application is powerful enough to pull as much people as possible to become a actual super app like what WeChat does. Do you have any idea as to how decentralization could revolutionize that take? Is there a possibility where we could see the future dApps to evolve into super apps?
I think it's very complicated because WeChat, at the end, I think we cannot compare countries like China with others. Like in China, they have a lot of restrictions. The government is in control of everything. So I think this adoption and big super app is just possible if the government is supporting them and they are backing these kind of things. Create a app with this idea of decentralization against the governments, against the rules, legal situations, whatever it is. I think it's very complicated. And obviously, I'm not going to be the one talking about Elon and saying that it's not possible or whatever. But I think it's really challenging to create something similar as WeChat in United States or Europe. This is my point of view.
Agreed. I will come to part of this interview where I ask you a couple of tips and tricks because you are the community expert. You have been a part of these major companies as now you're running your own company. You specialized in that. So I'm going to ask you a couple of tips to grow crypto communities in the later point of the interview. I want to ask you right now about mm, let's talk about your services. One of your services, you have crypto SEO. I checked out your website. Could you let
Mhm.
us know how different is crypto SEO from traditional SEO? And from that point of view, could you also explain your prediction for SEO in future?
Mhm. Well, in terms of SEO, I'm not the expert. I have someone in the team that is the real expert. I can give you a better explanation. But the difference is actually is not that different. But you need to understand, and this is I think, the key point here. You need to understand the industry. The same as if you are going to start working with a specific industry on SEO, you need to understand the industry because at the end, all these long tail keywords and these things, you need to know exactly which ones are better. Besides that, you are looking for and in Google Search Console or in Google Analytics or whatever tool that you are using. So I think the main thing here is the understanding the industry, getting the new trends, the new words that are appearing, and start creating things based on that. So that be the main difference. But we are naming it like Web3 SEO because at the end we need to make a differentiation. No? And in terms of the evolving of SEO, in my opinion, it's going to be something related with AI. I think ChatGPT and all these platforms are going to allow us to make a search and we are going to receive a specific answer instead of searching something in Google or any search. We are going to
Yeah,
receive
they're
a
already
specific.
incorporated.
Exactly. So the main question here would be we can uh, how we can achieve or how we can get that these AI tools to show our website or our blog or our services. That is the main thing. How we can get that these AI tools consider that our website is better than the others. I think this is the most difficult part. So, in my opinion, the SEO will be something related with understanding the algorithm and the AI tool and how we can trick the system to make it on our favor, I think.
Cool. Well, one of the things that we specialize in as a news media platform, we are highly active on social audio platforms like LinkedIn Audio, Twitter Spaces, Clubhouse. I don't know if you realized that back in 2002, in the second wave of COVID, around that time, social audio became a thing. Clubhouse came along, and then Twitter Spaces became a huge thing for the crypto community and non-crypto communities in particular. I somehow see a lot of social media companies adopting that framework. Do you think it's necessary for Web3 communities, because you're an expert in that field, to adopt this as a part of their media mix, as a part of their campaign?
Yeah, 100%. For me, it's super important to have a contact with the community. And if you're creating AMAs or like meetings like this one, in touch with the community and spaces, I think it's almost mandatory for every community that you want to create to be in touch with the team, with the founders, and have a direct conversation, not like the Web2 communication that we used to have, even by email or by the Telegram, the chat support or something. Now it's different. We have a Telegram group or we have a Discord group, and we can even talk with the founder, the team, Twitter Spaces, and this is how you build a community. So 100%. And Reddit also, they have also this option available.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's one of the reasons why a lot of these communities are so active on Discord. Let me ask you about NFTs in general. It's a lot of people saying now it's a bubble. The bubble has burst. It's the craze is gone. Uh, how do you think, and do you think NFTs will revive as a market? And if so, right, what will be the driver for the next, upspring of NFT marketplace?
I think the bubble, the NFT is already passed. It's already gone, the bubble itself, but the utility is still there and it's going to be in the future. Can happen, we can have another trend of NFTs, yes. But I think it's not going to be that big as we saw the last time with all these things, the CryptoPunks and Boardgate, Jab Club, and all these things. So I think the utility is there. Everyone is going to start understanding exactly the utility of the NFTs. That is not just a speculative asset. That is something more. And about the marketplaces, I think it's difficult to tell you which ones are gonna stand out or which one are gonna be there. But obviously, Blur is doing really amazing things, and Rarible or OpenSea. So it's complicated to tell you which one.
Fair enough. Now, I want to talk about Web3 Sapiens and why did you start, this company. But before you do that, could you list down the couple of like all of your services? What do you provide for Web3 Sapiens? And while you do that, what was your mindset behind it? Why did you start such a company? What was the need for it?
Yeah, the need basically was when I started working. I've been many years in marketing and also many years in crypto, and I was seeing this trend of building communities and also working on Reddit. That I was helping a lot of Web3 marketing agencies. I was seeing a lack of community building because at the end they were doing kind of the same but call it differently. So I saw that I saw the need of building communities in Web3. That for me, this is the key. This is the most important part. So after being many years on marketing, many years on crypto, working with different crypto projects and Reddit and Web3 marketing agencies, I decided to build my own and focusing on this. So we use and we offer different services. For example, influencer marketing. We offer PR. We offer the SEO, for example. And at the end, all of these services are ending up on build your community. Build your community, that doesn't mean that me as an individual, I'm going to build your community for you like this. You need a commitment. The team need to be committed. Everyone that is going to tell you that I'm going to build a community for you like this is not true. It's not possible. You need
Absolutely.
the team and you need the people, to be involved, and even the founder. This is what makes difference between Web3 and Web2. In Web2, you cannot be in a Telegram group with, I don't know, in Apple with Tim Cook. You can't. You are gonna be now with the CEO of one of these crypto projects. So everything is related with this, and I'm a very fan of the gamified activities using silly campaigns or Galaxy or these things. I think it's a good way of engage with the community and be in touch with them and give rewards and all these things. So at the end, it's all the focus on that.
Yeah, I've interviewed people from Galaxy. I know they would appreciate your comment here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with your top 5 picks right now, rapid fire round. But before, again, I'm giving you a heads up right now. I need you to be prepared. But before I go there, I want to touch base on a couple of projects that you took home, right? Case studies where you built clients' community successfully. Also, a couple of credible stories where you found success building Web3 communities.
Mhm. Well, in terms of building communities, I usually take usually the startups, and we start building the community from the scratch. So I have many of them. Actually, I can give you a deck with a lot of case studies. But now one project that I'm super happy that I'm having and is going super good is Tokenomia Pro, for example. I can even give you the contact of the CEO because they are doing amazing things, and it's everything related with token engineering. And I like this project because it's a tricky one, let's say. Usually when you create a community for gaming or NFT collection or something, it's kind of easy because everyone understands what you are doing. So, okay, it's a game that you can play in this way or this other. It's a blockchain. But when to create a community of a company that basically what he does is services and is related with token engineering, create and gamify and build a community through that is way more complicated, in my opinion. But at the end, for example, with these ones, we've been a few months working with them. We have now, the last silly campaign was 2 weeks ago. I think we finished, or 1 week ago. And we got over 2,000 people participating in the campaign and more than 200 people getting rewards. And we saw a lot of commitment. We try
100%
to make
organic.
it. Yeah, we use some specific influencers to mention that we are having a silly campaign to get more people on board, but we don't even use any kind of paid ads or anything. It was the organic people that we already
So
having and
organic, yeah.
members we were creating. Yeah, and some influencers that were mentioning, hey, these guys are doing this silly campaign. So also you need to have well, I'm going to enter some tips and tricks. I'm not going to get very into deep on that now, but
I'm
you
gonna
have a
ask
lot
you
of
that.
bots.
I'm gonna ask you that. Yeah,
Okay,
I'm gonna ask
okay,
you
so I'm
those
going to give
tips
you.
on the rapid fire round. Yeah.
All right.
All right. You know what? I'm gonna put you on the spot right now. I'm gonna ask you 3 back-to-back questions, right, to sum this interview up. First, top 5 mistakes communities or projects make while marketing their Web3 project. Top 5. Go ahead.
All right. First one, if you have a project and you want to launch a token, I see a lot of projects who first launch a token and then they start to build a community. First mistake. You need to build a community and then when token and people asking for it and then you give it.
Okay.
Next one, I would say use a lot of socials at the beginning and a lot of sub channels, for example, Discord groups. You are getting a lot of people overwhelmed with a lot of information and you don't have enough people to feel and to have messages on everywhere. So if I were you, first start with just one social, one, for example, Telegram, one channel,
Mm.
start from that. And as soon as you have more conversations and more topics, then start creating more sub channels, more languages or whatever. But start small from the beginning. Third, I would say if you have the first members, you really need to take care a lot of them and teach them, because they are gonna be the ones teaching after you. So if you give them the right rules, what you are doing and everything, they're gonna help you a lot. And even just another tip, but you're gonna probably hire some of these people, these new members. You can even hire them after for community moderators, and they're gonna be people that are already committed. They already know you. So for me, it's way better to hire someone that is already interested in you than look for someone after. Another one, I've three, no? Okay, I would say
You can conclude at 4. Don't worry.
okay, I would say try to spend a lot of money at the beginning on paid ads and influencers
Right.
when you don't even
Yeah,
have
that's a mistake.
really, the first members and a really storytelling to show. Because I also working with startups, they want to start building a community and they don't even have a real good narrative storytelling plan. They just want to start spreading the word. So have a plan, start from the
Agree.
scratch, building small, organic, do partnerships. That is also super important. Partnership with similar projects like yours. And then after you can start scaling up the budget.
Cool. Now that you mentioned the mistakes, give us 5 tips that people could implement right away to build their community.
Mhm. Well, the first one I already as a mistake. I already mentioned some mistake, but the partnerships is something that is completely underrated, and people they don't really know exactly the powerful you have, because you're not spending anything, not money. You're spending just time on reaching out to some people, so they're gonna support you a lot. So this is the first thing. Another tip that would say, besides the moderators, don't start spending a lot of money on moderators or anything. Just wait until you have your community first, and then with the people, the users that you are seeing that are standing out from the others, offer them the opportunity to be part of your team. You have to understand that now the users, the followers, are not just followers, are members. They are followers, they are users of your product, they are investors, because they'll probably invest on your token or whatever you have. They are going to be part of your team. They are advisors. It's much more. Then, to start from the beginning, instead of spending money on influencers that might be very with a very high cost, start with ambassadors and offer them to be part of you, and maybe a percentage of equity or percentage of tokens if you're going to launch something soon. This is more interesting because you're not gonna spend a lot of money, and you have someone that already has a community and people around that are gonna be aware of you. And it's always better to have this kind of collaborations. It's like an affiliate marketing. For me, it's always better to have an affiliate marketing than scope marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, go
No,
ahead.
I really wanted to ask in particular about, because you're an insider. I know you signed a NDA and all of that probably after you left Reddit, but I think people press you, when they get on board with you. Hey, how do I get viral on Reddit? So, a couple of tips on that, side as well.
Okay. So on Reddit, well, you have the organic way of growing and also the Reddit ads. The Reddit ads is more something very quick, it's very fast, but you cannot create a really community based on ads, So it's more, the organic part is better. The problem with the organic is that Reddit is very picky. The Redditors, I mean, they are very, very picky. And if you try
Yeah,
to promote something with your users, they're gonna ban you probably.
Danny. Yeah.
So if I were you, and you have, because I can tell you, because I have, I don't know, more than 20 users banned. Like I just learned
Okay.
how to run piss off people. Don't try to promote anything. Just be real. Start giving value to the community. If you, for example, I don't know, you have wallet project. Okay, you have your user. Your user can be the name. Don't name it as the name of your project. Okay, normal name. And then you start giving value to the community, talking about wallets, type of wallets, decentralization wallets, how does it work, type of wallets. And there is one moment that you're gonna create a new post talking about wallets, and after you're going to say, by the way, this project, this one, they have these benefits or these characteristics that I find very interesting. That's it. Don't do more than that. And after, you can create your own subreddit specifically talking about your project. And then you can start building your community. Do the same. You can do partnerships with other subreddits. You can even talk with Reddit influencers. It's not that easy, but there are. You can talk to them saying, I create a new subreddit. I would like, if you like our idea, to post something about us, would be amazing. And start growing there organically. And I know it's very frustrating sometimes, and it's a long-term effort, but it really this is what the build community means. It's not something
I agree.
fast.
I agree. Right, dealing with redditors is quite frustrating, even for a journalist. I am trying to interview your current head of Web3 at the moment. Probably going to do that interview. Your ex Reddit, but the current Reddit's Web3 head. But I wanted to hear it from you. Like, after you left, you must have heard a couple of ideas thrown around the table. What's the future of Reddit's going to look like? Is it going to be like a social media platform, equipped with the more Web3 features, like a DApp or something? Is that going to happen? What's the future of Reddit like?
Well, as you probably know, that I cannot talk a lot about this stuff, but to give you my opinion from outside, let's say that I don't have any kind of information from Reddit, from what I'm seeing from outside, the idea of Reddit is to grow in Web3. I think they saw the trend, and I believe they are gonna try to follow the steps of Web3. They started with the NFTs. We saw many subreddits who were starting with their own token, like cryptocurrency with the moons. Now they had some problems with the SEC, but we are seeing this trend. So I believe they are they have this idea on mind.
Fair enough. Final question: your top 5 dApps, decentralized applications. Top 5 your favorite must-haves that you have used, and I would also include social media applications like DCOFi or DC, stuff like that. What are those?
Well, I have a lot. I'm gonna try to give you some specific ones from different verticals, but let's say, well, if we talk about exchanges, Uniswap, for example, I think is the main one that everyone is using. MetaMask for sure. If we talk about another protocols, for example, Aave, for me are also protocols that I would always follow. I also like other protocols, for example, like Synthetix, that is trying to do some kind of derivatives of different assets. I really like that. And I don't know if you consider this an dApps, but there are also a lot of platforms that are now tokenizing real world assets. I'm also involved with real world assets tokenization of real estate and another project that I can tell you after if you want. So I think, kind of projects like this for me are the big ones. And for example, Galaxy, I really like Galaxy. I was working a lot with Silly, but now Galaxy, I really like it much more. So more or less, that will be the ones.
Fair enough. No, it's an honor to have you here on the show, and I wish you all the best. And if you guys want to get in touch with their team, their website is www.web3sapiens.com. Is that it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to pin it down on the description section. Go ahead and check them out. He's available on LinkedIn as well. Maybe he's on Reddit as well. Can find him. And that's it for this episode. I want you guys to follow him. And if you want to have any services, go ahead and reach out to him. Thank you very much, Javier.
Thank you so much for having me here. It was a pleasure.
Cool. And it's